in your own personal experience, are there things you would like to see further developed or offered for people to be able to use their Bitcoin?
I think financial institutions getting onboarded onto Bitcoin, like large, and that's part of our like sales, like our commercial effort is not to onboard like individuals or like small merchants, but to onboard these big companies that have millions of users on their app and just adding Bitcoin into an app like these. Like there's this tendency right now of this thing called super apps. Super apps, this app that does everything like WeChat in China, Kakao in Korea. There's several like super apps coming up in different countries. And so our focus is helping these super app companies integrate Bitcoin within their apps. And like that's one single effort that need to do to provide exposure to Bitcoin for like 5 million, 10 million people in one shot. And so that's what we're focusing on. And I think more financial institutions are getting more comfortable with Bitcoin every day, especially in here in Guatemala. We're next to El Salvador. A lot of institutions are asking about it, and so that's I think what needs to happen from a regulatory standpoint. Definitely, there is no legal definition for Bitcoin in a lot of countries. I think only El Salvador is the country that has like a law that says what Bitcoin is in a certain way. Like it needs more details, but there's like a legal definition of what Bitcoin is. I think we need to define what Bitcoin is from a legal standpoint, not necessarily like laws passed by Congress, but things like jurisprudence, like having a history of interpretations of what Bitcoin is, and then there's like a general idea from a legal point of view of what Bitcoin is. I think that needs to happen in these countries for more financial institutions to get comfortable with it. But at the end of the day, it's about the people, like how people are going to see Bitcoin, how they're going to use it. We're doing some user research with people who cash out remittances, and it's been interesting on how um, you need to change a mindset. And I think all of us Bitcoiners, we changed that mindset. It took us a long time, but we changed that mindset. And so, how can we change the mindset for millions of people in one shot? For example, we created like a mock Bitcoin wallet, and we were showing it to people who currently cash out remittances. They received remittances and converted it to cash. And one of the first things that came up is that the first pieces of feedback was like, hey, I don't have to create an account here. Like, I don't have to put in my email and password. And that was surprised. They were like, oh, like, I'm not sure I'm going to use it because I don't trust it. Because they're used to creating an account, just like a bank account, like a
Oh,
Facebook account.
wow. That's so interesting. Wait, so just to
Yeah,
repeat that.
that was
People
surprising.
people were I want to make sure I understood what you're saying. You're saying that because people are so used to being KYC'd, which I view as like a crime, the fact that we have that when if somebody wants to engage with financial services, they must fully dox themselves to whatever services they're using. You're
Right.
saying that because your users didn't have to do that, they were like, I don't know if I can trust this financial app.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Man, that is fucked up.
It's that's what I'm talking about, like changing a mental model of, because these people, a lot of people who receive remittances probably didn't get like a high school education or college or anything, and so they're used to creating an account. Most of them have a Facebook account or a Twitter account, and so any new service that I'm going to use, I need to create an account for. That's like, I think, like the logical sort of reasoning. And when you say, hey, you can just use it, receive Bitcoin, you don't have to create an account, they're like, wait a minute, what is this? That was an interesting thing. So we're thinking about how we can sort of educate the user to sort of break those paradigms that sort of Bitcoin enables, right? And so those are the things. It's more things that have to change sort of in people's psyche or mentality, or the way that they've been used to consume internet based services into how Bitcoin works.